I just want to talk about something about the coronavirus package that they're trying to get passed right now in Congress and such in the House. Uh, they want to give a bunch of money to the airlines to bail them out and what have you. But why do they always start at the top and wait for it to trickle down to us consumers? I mean, they can dump all the money they want to, in my opinion, into the airlines. But if people are 2 months behind on their rent, do you really think they're going to take a vacation and go fly somewhere? Or if they don't have a car because it got repossessed, or they're evicted and they're living out of their car or a tent. I mean, they are probably going to vote differently than what they were prior to losing their job, their car, their place to live. And if somebody can offer them hope, it's in my opinion they're going to vote for that person. Long gone are the days gone, as far as I'm concerned, as make America great. People seen how that kind of turned out with the embargo and stuff, and a lot of farmers were kind of upset about it. But nobody asked when Donald Trump said make America great. Everybody just got behind. But now people are going to ask, or just want free money. And I think they're going to want free money, so-called free money. People are tired of having to pull their own teeth with a pair of pliers at home. If we had basic health care, to where if you had a cold or you needed stitches, something simple like that, to where that was free, then you wouldn't have people going to the hospital that need to be admitted that will never pay because they can't afford to pay, and healthcare would actually go down. But then they couldn't write off as much money at the end of the year. That's why they always say your bill's this amount, and then they show reductions. It's the reductions they get to where they don't have to pay taxes, because they have to give back a certain amount. The reason they don't have to pay taxes, the way I understand it, is without paying taxes, that means that they can help more people, so-called. It's still a money game. I mean, the CEO still makes a gazillion dollars, which I'm not complaining about. But if it was truly nonprofit, then it should be nonprofit. Yeah, I don't really see Trump get another 4 years now, especially where there's not going to be no $1,200 stimulus package. Is not looking very good anyway at this point. People are going to be a little upset about that, I think, especially if they're like really behind on their rent, or even living in their car or a tent, and here, members of Congress are making over $200,000 a year and haven't missed one paycheck. So there's going to be a lot of people voting, I think, this year. I mean, it's going to be monumental as far as what happens. And, I don't want none of the above, actually, to be real honest. Now, I think Trump has done some good, but he can't identify with the average person whether you pay the electric bill or buy food. That part he's never had to experience that. His daddy gave him $1 million to bail him out one time. So he's never experienced that. He didn't do it all on his own either. His daddy helped him out a lot. Connections, etc. He's filed bankruptcy like 6 times. A lot of people that built that one casino for him are out of money because he just didn't pay him. He overextended himself, which I'm not complaining. Businesses, it's capitalism. Things go up and fail. I understand that, but not talking to the Republicans on his side and getting something passed. I mean, Trump did try to get something passed, but it really didn't do much. It was kind of a peace offering, I think, more than anything. Like, here, I've done my part, now you guys do your part. Well, they didn't do their part. And I don't think there's no executive order that he could actually sign that would give us stimulus money, legally anyways. So I hope everybody gets out there in November and gets voting. Don't care which way you vote. Just make sure your voice is heard, you know. I think it's a pretty important election actually coming up. It's going to be a monumental election. They're going to talk about this election for years and years to come, I think. And it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be tight. I really do. I don't think it's going to be a landslide one way or another. But I could be wrong. You know, I'm no freaking economologist or whatever. I really don't study the freaking polls or follow politics that close. But I do know that I've heard a lot of people saying, you know, where's my $1,200? I've heard that a lot. Okay. So I don't know if they're hearing that. Apparently nobody else is hearing that but me. You know. At this point, what's another trillion or two on the deficit anyways? Most people don't even know what the deficit is. Most people don't even know what $1 trillion is in $100 bills, how big it is. You know. People don't care about the deficit. The USA is never going to go bankrupt. That's never going to happen. I shouldn't say never, but most likely probably isn't going to happen. You know, we could probably be 30 trillion in debt and still have a robust economy, actually. Now, most of our taxes would go for interest on that, of course, you know, but we could pull ourselves out. It's just right now they need to put cash in the consumer's hands and let us spend it where we need to spend it. And then it'll trickle to the businesses. That's how it's supposed to work. You don't give to the businesses and then hope the customers come. That's not how capitalism works, you know. And if the airlines fail, they'll go bankrupt. The planes will go up for sale. Somebody will get a good bargain on them, open another airline, and we'll be back in business again about the right time to where people have money again, because I'm sure people have cashed in their 2, 3, 4 weeks of vacation just to try to make ends meet. So they ain't going to take no vacations this year. So giving the airlines a bailout is just prolonging the inevitable where they're going to go under, okay? Granted, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, but when the new airlines start up, those people will be hired back. So, you know, I say while those people are off because the airlines failed, give them some money. You know what I'm saying? Then they would spend on their rent, their car payment, food, and that would trickle up. You know, they always talk about the trickle-down economy. Well, you can't give to businesses that are failing and expect it to help the economy. I mean, you can only give so much money to the airlines before you're like, you know what, guys, we've tried this. You know, it's not working. You're still going bankrupt. Then where are we at? We're out a couple billion, hundreds of billions of dollars at this point, right? Right? So then what happens? Well, then it makes sense that the government owns the airlines at this point, right? See where I'm getting to? It's all part of the plan, I believe. But anyways.